Welcome to USA Weekly News Plus. I'm Barkin L, and let's be honest, you're probably only watching this because the YouTube algorithm has taken you hostage once again. This week we've got a real smorgasbord of news, from striking auto workers to a hurricane doing its best impression of a whirling dervish on the East Coast. We'll also delve into the political circus that just won't quit, with an impeachment inquiry looming like a particularly ominous rain cloud. And if you think that's all, buckle up. We've got COVID still kicking around, tech layoffs, and of course the NFL trying its best to distract everyone from its concussion protocols. So, before we dive headfirst into this dumpster fire of current events, don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and comment on this video. Alright, let's start with the United Auto Workers, or UAW as they're known in the biz. This union has been a cornerstone of the American labor movement for decades, representing the hardworking men and women who build the cars we drive every day. These guys and gals are currently staging the biggest walkout in their union's history. It's a massive, coordinated effort that has brought production lines to a grinding halt. Think of it like this: if holding a strike was an Olympic sport, the UAW would be on that podium. They've mastered the art of collective action, and this strike is their gold medal performance. Why are they striking? It's not just about a few extra cents per hour. This is about fundamental issues that affect their daily lives and future. We're talking demands for better pay, improved benefits, healthcare, retirement, the essentials. These are the things that make a job more than just a paycheck. But here's the real kicker. It's about more than just cars. It's about the dignity of work and ensuring that workers are treated fairly in an ever-changing industry. It's about the future of work itself. With automation and robotics becoming more prevalent, the UAW is fighting to make sure their members have a place in this new landscape. The UAW is trying to ensure that when the robot uprising does happen, their members aren't left jobless. They want to secure training and opportunities for workers to adapt to new technologies. This is serious stuff. We're talking 150,000 workers across multiple states. The scale of this strike is unprecedented and shows the unity and determination of the workers. Even President Biden has weighed in, urging both sides to hash out a deal. His involvement underscores the national importance of this labor dispute. But the automakers are playing hardball, claiming they can't afford the UAW's demands. They argue that meeting these demands would hurt their competitiveness and bottom line. Negotiations are ongoing, which is a fancy way of saying everyone's yelling at each other while pretending to be civil. It's a high-stakes game of chess with both sides trying to outmaneuver the other. The outcome of this strike could have ripple effects throughout the entire American economy. From car prices to supply chains, the impact could be felt far and wide, affecting not just the auto industry, but the broader economic landscape as well. Well, folks, it seems like we're back on this merry-go-round of political dysfunction. Yes, you guessed it, it's impeachment inquiry time again. This time, it's President Biden in the hot seat. So, what exactly are the allegations this time? It all boils down to Hunter Biden, the president's son, and his business dealings in Ukraine and China. Republicans are claiming that President Biden used his political power to enrich his family. The Democrats, on the other hand, are calling it a politically motivated witch hunt. The timing of this whole thing is about as subtle as a brick to the face. It's highly unlikely that President Biden will actually be impeached. Even if the House votes to impeach, the Senate is unlikely to convict. But this impeachment inquiry is sure to be a huge distraction for the Biden administration. It's going to dominate the news cycle and make it harder for the government to actually govern. And now for something completely different: the weather. Hurricane Lee is shaping up to be a doozy. This swirling vortex of wind and rain is currently churning its way towards the East Coast. We're talking potential hurricane-force winds, torrential downpours, and enough storm surge to make NOAA start building a second ark. The National Hurricane Center is tracking Lee's every move with intense focus. Up and down the East Coast, from Florida to Maine, people are bracing themselves for Lee's arrival. Coastal communities are battening down the hatches and preparing for potential evacuations. Hurricanes are nothing to mess around with. We're talking about potential flooding, power outages, and flying debris. So, if you're in the path of Hurricane Lee, please heed the warnings from local officials. Take the necessary precautions and stay safe. Remember COVID-19, that global pandemic that dominated our lives? Yeah, well, it's back. And this time it's brought a friend, a new variant, more contagious than a catchy pop song. But before you succumb to despair, there is a glimmer of hope on the horizon. Scientists have been hard at work developing new vaccines specifically targeting this new variant. These vaccines are our best bet at getting ahead of this virus. Of course, it wouldn't be a COVID-19 vaccine rollout without a few hiccups. There are concerns about production capacity, distribution logistics, and vaccine hesitancy. Despite the challenges, the rollout of these new vaccines is underway. Health officials are urging everyone, especially those most vulnerable, to get vaccinated and boosted as soon as possible. So, if you're eligible for the new vaccine, please don't hesitate. Get vaccinated, and let's finally put an end to this pandemic nightmare. Alright, sports fans, let's talk pigskin. The NFL season is back, and it's already delivering the kind of excitement that keeps us glued to our screens. The NFL season is officially underway, and if the first week is anything to go by, we're in for a wild ride. We're talking upset victories, last-minute touchdowns, and nail-biting finishes that have fans on the edge of their seats, and enough drama to make a soap opera writer blush. The energy in the stadiums is electric, and the passion of the fans is palpable. The first week of the NFL season is like the opening scene of a movie. It's all about setting the stage, introducing the characters, and building the anticipation for the epic storylines that will unfold over the next few months. It's all about setting the stage, introducing the characters, and giving us a taste of what's to come. Coaches are strategizing, players are hyped, and fans are ready for the roller coaster of emotions that only football can provide, and giving us a taste of what's to come. From jaw-dropping catches to bone-crunching tackles, the first week had it all. We had underdog teams pulling off shocking upsets, proving that anything can happen on any given Sunday. These unexpected victories remind us why we love the game so much. Seasoned veterans proving they've still got it, showing that experience and skill can still dominate the field. And rookies bursting onto the scene, making a name for themselves with impressive plays and unforgettable moments. But it wasn't all sunshine and roses. This is the NFL, after all, where injuries are as common as touchdown celebrations. Star quarterbacks went down and key players limped off the field, reminding us of the physical toll this sport takes. This is the NFL, after all, where injuries are as common as touchdown celebrations. Star quarterbacks went down, key players limped off the field, and the medical staff was kept busy. Key players limped off the field, and fantasy football leagues across the country were thrown into chaos. Fans everywhere were scrambling to adjust their lineups and find replacements for their injured stars. And fantasy football leagues across the country were thrown into chaos. Managers were left scrambling, trying to salvage their seasons before they even really began. But hey, that's all part of the game, right? The thrill of victory, the agony of defeat, and the constant fear that your favorite player is going to end up on injured reserve. It's the emotional roller coaster that makes football so captivating. The constant fear that your favorite player is going to end up on injured reserve. It's a reminder of the highs and lows that come with being a fan. So whether you're a die-hard fan or a casual observer, buckle up because the NFL season is just getting started. The drama, the excitement, the heartbreak, and the triumphs are all ahead of us. Because the NFL season is just getting started. Get ready for more unforgettable moments, more incredible plays, and more reasons to love this game. The journey has just begun, and it's going to be one heck of a ride. And now for a dose of economic reality, Silicon Valley style. Remember those mass layoffs in the tech industry we were all talking about a few months ago? Yeah, well, they're not over yet. This week, tech giants Google and Meta announced even more job cuts. Thousands of workers are being shown the door, their dreams of stock options and ping pong tables at work going up in smoke. So, what's behind this latest wave of layoffs? It's a perfect storm of economic factors. We're talking inflation, rising interest rates, and a general slowdown in the tech industry. Those heady days of the pandemic when tech companies couldn't hire fast enough, yeah, those days are long gone. These layoffs are a symptom of a much larger problem. When even the biggest, most profitable tech companies are cutting jobs, it's a sign that the economy is in trouble. The economy is slowing down, and we're all going to feel it. And finally, let's talk about the political showdown that had everyone talking this week. The vice presidential debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. This event was highly anticipated, with both sides gearing up for a clash of ideologies and personalities. Now I know what you're thinking, wait, wasn't Trump already president? Yes, indeed he was, and his presence in this debate has certainly raised a few eyebrows. And didn't he lose the last election? That's correct. He did lose the last presidential election, which makes his participation in this vice presidential debate even more intriguing. Why is he debating the vice president? This unusual scenario has sparked a lot of discussions and theories, with some suggesting it's a strategic move to keep his political influence alive. The debate itself was something else. It was a spectacle filled with fiery exchanges and memorable moments. Harris came out swinging, landing some solid jabs about the economy and healthcare. She was well prepared and articulate, making her points with clarity and conviction. Trump, meanwhile, seemed content to mostly rehash old grievances and make faces that would make a toddler jealous. His performance was a mix of nostalgia and theatrics aimed at rallying his base. The highlight of the debate came when the moderator asked each candidate about their plans for immigration. This is a topic that has always been a hot-button issue in American politics. Harris delivered a measured response outlining her vision for a more humane and compassionate immigration system. She emphasized the need for reform and the importance of treating immigrants with dignity. Trump, on the other hand, launched into a tirade about bad hombres and fake news. His response was more about stirring emotions than providing concrete solutions. So, who won the debate? This question has been the subject of much debate itself, with pundits and analysts offering differing opinions. Well, that depends on who you ask. Social media was ablaze with reactions, with supporters of both sides claiming victory. At the end of the day, it's just another episode in the never-ending reality show that is American politics. This debate, like many before it, will be dissected and discussed for days to come, adding yet another chapter to the ongoing saga. Well, folks, there you have it. Another week, another avalanche of news that's enough to make you want to move to a remote island with no internet access. Thanks for tuning in to USA Weekly News Plus. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and comment on this video. And remember, if you're ever feeling overwhelmed by the sheer volume of news, just take a deep breath and remember, it could always be worse. See you next week with more top stories.